Quick drop. I'm going to get something done. Went, got that thing done. Ended up hanging out with my boy, right? It's like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Boom, pull up. People are pissed off because I didn't spend time.
I mean, okay, was the plan to spend time?
No, there was no email. There was no calendar invite.
The mics are blood clot open. Check.
Select accent for the podcast.
Calvin always late.
Welcome to a brand new episode of The Mics Are Open. The main episode, episode number 95.
95.
Today we knew what episode it is. Because normally, typically we're always like, any episode number ngapi.
Yo, no, speak for yourself, bro. Speak for yourself. Don't speak for me. But anyway, how you doing, Calvin?
Man, I am in pain. I'm not even going to lie.
Why are you in pain?
So I've decided, I wasn't supposed to really talk about it. But let me just say, I did a couple of push-ups yesterday.
You did a couple of push-ups yesterday?
Yeah.
How many is a couple? If you're in pain, bro, I don't know how many a couple is.
I am not saying. This journey, I want to keep it silently. I shouldn't have even touched it. But when you ask me, I'm in a bit of pain. But tutaendelea.
Ah, man, no, don't give me that, bro. So you're back to the gym like for real?
Oh, man, I feel like if I say I'm back in the gym, it's like a jinxing kind of thing. You know how when you post up a picture of you in December, then you post up post-transformation. That's how I want it to be. So
is that how it's going to be this time round? Like, because you've tried a couple of times and that's not been the result.
Well, in 2018, I went back to the gym. Was it 2018? Yes, 2018, did the gym thoroughly, religiously for a hot minute. And then I think after 6 months, boom, kind of fell off that wagon, right? But now I'm just feeling like there's, life can't wait for you.
True.
So I'm just like, hey, boss, let me just try and reduce katami here, there.
Are you sure it's not someone who mentioned something?
Imagine like, no one. I don't even feel heavy myself. But how many kgs are you?
Last I checked, I was... Y'all don't judge me for this. Don't judge me for this, y'all. Last I checked, I was 57, bro.
What?
Light as a feather, bro.
Jeez.
Light as a feather. Yeah.
57, bro.
What about you?
Fam, as of 2 days ago, 92.
92?
Yeah.
And
I want to go back to 85. Yes,
back
this
to
is
85.
actually, this is probably the second heaviest I've ever been in my life. I think the most heaviest I've ever been was probably like there about 94. Yeah.
So are you sure like nobody mentioned something to you, bro?
No one. Because when I just felt a bit, I was just like, bro, let me just go in and work out. Because here's the thing, right? And I think a lot of people have been throwing this out there. Bruh, COVID weight is actually a thing.
Oh, yes.
Last year, so last year, for those of you guys who've never really listened to the podcast, if this is your first time, G and I used to work together, right? On the show last year, we did it at home for 8 months. 8 months back to back. So you can imagine how typically you'd walk from the house to the garage, to the ward, to the what. There was none of that happening. And when you're working from home, you're just eating a bit more. Snack here, snack there. So the weight did check in.
Bro, it's called quarantine thickness. So you gained that quarantine thickness, bro. You came out thick.
I don't think you could look at another man and use the word thick.
No, you came out thick, bro.
I think I came out a bit
thick.
Kidogo too. No, not the word thick. I'm not accepting the word thick. The word is there was fat deposits here.
Fat deposits here and there.
Yeah.
Okay. So
fat deposits. Yeah, that's where we're going with it. So how's your week been though?
It's been okay. I'm on leave. So I'm actually really abusing it, bro. I'm abusing it. Like,
what time are you going to bed?
No, that's the thing, because it's still in my routine. I sleep early and I wake up really early.
Oh, fam.
So I have really low. Yes, the alarms are off, but my body is still an alarm because there's something I'm
body
used
clock.
to. Yes, the body clock, exactly. So at this time, I'm up. So my days are really long. So by the time I'm home, like in the evening, I'm deadbeat. I'm tired. So I sleep early as well.
Oh, man. Let me tell you, I swore I was going to have this conversation with you. So the other day I was thinking about it, right? And please don't judge me. Austin, Grouchy, you guys don't judge me. This
Wait,
is
you know
gonna
we
sound-
didn't even introduce ourselves,
Oh
bro.
shit! Of course, you're locked onto the mics are open. Yeah, episode number 95.
95, man.
With
Yeah.
Mr. Big C over here.
And the young right here. G still MIA since Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Abduction things.
Send an SOS message, bro, so that we know you're Gucci.
G,
But shout out to G, man.
blink twice so that we can see you. So, before. Typically nowadays when I go to bed, right, I'm doing a bit of like reading here, there, meditating, kidogo, just to like ease into it, right? So the one thing that I have one of these Alexa things right next to my bed. So I always say, Alexa, play some rainforest.
I get.
So
I
you
get,
hear like
I
the,
get.
you know, all of those natural forest kind of
Yes, the
sounds. and all.
ambience, yeah.
Right. So one
Yeah.
of these days I was just, you know, segging into it, getting into bed and everything. And I thought about
you
it.
sound so excited,
And I was
bro.
just like, if these sounds were playing, right? And I had like, you know, Shorty over here and we were like getting into it, would I feel like George of the Jungle? Or would I be like equated to like, come on, bro.
No. No,
What?
Calvin, that's...
No, but think about it.
That's
The
what we're not doing,
The
bro.
things are in the back.
George
who
of
could
the
just-
Jungle. I thought there was a better
George.
payoff than this, bro.
Okay, what is the payoff? What were you thinking?
I thought you'd say something like you didn't realize
Would I
that,
feel
that,
like
that,
what?
that arouses you or something of this sort. I thought there was a better payoff, bro.
Bro, arouses you like what?
this
Crickets and
this
all.
was a joke.
Crickets. Like, you tell me,
Yo.
oh my God, tell me more, getting more heated.
But no, speaking of which, yesterday I was listening. No, not yesterday, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I've been listening back to a couple of episodes.
Of
And
the mics are open?
Of the mics are open, yes.
Uh-huh.
And it's something you got away with, bro. And I was like, yo, hold on. There's so much that we let or rather we let you get away with on this podcast, by the way. This one being one of them.
Which one?
So what were you talking about? There's a comment you made, and I made sure that I caught that comment, and G said we'll get back to that as we go on to talk about what we were talking about, because we didn't want to digress.
Okay.
But you said something along the lines of giving girlfriend allowances.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yo,
okay.
what's
Funny.
the
Did you get that
deal with
message?
that, bro?
Did you get that message?
What message?
True story, bro.
What message,
Shout
bro?
out to this guy, one of our listeners. I swear to God. Actually, I don't know. It's like, I don't know if we're in sync or something, but I got a message this morning that said, on the mics are open, you guys need to talk about girlfriend allowance.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk
Wow.
about that because
It's a thing.
Because no.
It's
What
a
is
thing,
what
bro.
is let me even Google what girlfriend allowance is. Now, what I know exists is boyfriend tax.
What's boyfriend
Now,
tax?
allow me to explain. Have you ever asked a shorty, whether it's your friend, your relative, your significant other, maybe you're going to get something to eat,
Okay.
and then you ask them, hey, yo, do you want to get something to eat? Because I'm heading to get this and this. And like, nah, I'm not hungry. Or maybe you've taken them out to eat. And then you ask them what they want. Like, they can order for anything on the menu. And they're like, nah, I'll just eat some, I don't know, some vegetables, some fruits,
Some little
some
small,
salad.
small.
Yeah, well, you're there on the beef or the chicken, And then when the food comes, she looks at your plate and she's like, damn.
I'm going to bite off it.
Exactly.
Bah, hit their hands.
Every woman does that. Now that is boyfriend tax. I know
Oh.
about boyfriend tax.
Okay.
Now, girlfriend allowance, I am not with it, bro.
Fam, girlfriend allowance is something that exists, right? So especially for like small things. She tells you, hey, I want to go get my hair done, right? It's not a question. When she's telling you, I want to go get my hair done, you need to step in and be like, hey, I'll pay for it. If she tells you I'm hungry, hey, let's go and eat. All of these to small to things, right? It doesn't need to be written like, oh, there's a private email that says, Andy, secret to who?
No,
I need this month.
No, we need
this one."
emails, bro. We need emails.
Keeping track.
This is the definition of girlfriend allowance or wife allowance. This is a certain amount of money you receive from your partner regularly. Like a salary, bro. Like a salary.
Like a
And
salary?
I'll tell you why I'm not with this. But Calvin, you mentioned that you give or you have been giving your significant others some girlfriend allowance.
I kind of did that.
You kinda did
back in
that.
the day.
Now,
I was younger.
I understand the small favors here and there, you wanting to treat the significant other, like, hey, yo, get your nails done, get your hair done, go to the spa, your massage, blah, 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 all of that, or go for a trip with your girlfriends. That I understand. But on a regular basis, a certain amount of money, it's like you are paying her a salary,
It's a salary.
for being
It's
your
like
wife.
upkeep or some.
I'm not with it, bro.
Why?
I'm not with it.
So would you rather she was getting it from someone else?
No, why? Okay,
Yeah.
Why do you have to get anything in the very first place?
Maybe she doesn't
You
have
don't need
that.
to be. No, you don't need to be appreciated. Okay,
Bro.
if you as a husband, if you want to, ni sawa. It's okay.
Maybe she ain't got a job.
That's a different situation,
Okay,
Calvin.
cool, right? But haven't you ever heard the saying that says, as a man, when you're dating a woman, your money is you and her? Look at Austin shaking his head. It's you and your money, Andy. It's not just you. It's you and her. Fam, that's how it is.
That coming from you is okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you why I'm not with this. Yesterday, shout out to Austin and shout out to Malik. We
Mr.
do a
Malik.
podcast called Nothing But Net.
Yep.
It's a basketball podcast. So on our way from the office, coming to your digs birthday, shout out to you for, hosting us. The Uber driver that we came with
Oh, he was sending that?
made a couple of remarks and I was like, what? Wait a minute, what?
What did my man say?
Now, this is a married guy, okay? But he says in his house, first of all, I loved the banter. I don't know where the banter came from, but shout out to Austin for entertaining him.
Oh, trust Austin too. Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted the tea. So this man goes on about how he is the law in the house, which is not something new to hear from a chauvinistic
Proper
man.
African man.
A chauvinistic man.
Proper African man. I am the law.
Anyway. So he says in his house, there's only 2 rules.
Well, don't get in behind me. Don't get in after me. I'm the last
Pause. Pause. Pause.
That wasn't supposed to come out like that.
Yeah, but one, he's always right.
Oh, okay.
And you can guess what number 2 is. There's only 2.
Always right. So this guy can
You
wear-
can imagine what rule number 2 is. Refer to rule number 1.
Now that shit's funny. So if he wears his shoes like right on left,
No,
if
but
you tell him
oh man.
you're wrong.
Okay, first of all, disclaimer. And this guy even made a comment in the car once he realized that we work for media.
Oh,
he was like,
wow.
please don't mention my name out there. If you're hanging out with anyone on anyone in media or in these platforms,
podcasting,
podcasting,
words,
YouTube,
everything. Your content at some point
you could be content if you qualify for good content.
on those dry days. You're just like,
Today
so
is
a
not a
friend of
dry
mine.
day, but that was just worth having a conversation on. Now, he says this is a twist. First of all, I'm not okay with that. So you can imagine in the car, we were already starting to cringe. Malik was busy minding his own business on his phone. He's like, no, I'm
None of
not
my
even part of
business.
this conversation. So, was it monthly or weekly? Weekly. Every week, this man has like an AGM with his family.
Whoa.
Yes. So
Really?
we can call this a weekly general meeting, WGM, with
So-
his whole family.
No one's late for that.
It's
Everyone has to pull up.
in the digs.
Hey.
So now,
Is this guy a military guy or what?
fam, the characters out here.
Jeez.
Anyway, a former accountant, if I'm not anyway, I've given,
yes,
I've
one
given
of
too
those.
much
Okay.
about the guy. Anyway, he's particular. He's particular.
Quite.
So, in these weekly general meetings, you present your grievances. You give feedback to other family members. What
Okay.
you liked,
I
what
like
you
this.
didn't
I
like.
like this. Yeah.
And even you as the head, like the head honcho of the house,
They
you have to
evaluate
take
you.
in criticism.
This is brilliant.
When your kid tells you, I don't like the fact that you come home late and you can't do assignments with you, only do assignments with mom.
Oh.
My nigga, trust me, you're gonna pull up at 5:30 p.m.
Fam, I
just
like
to
it.
do
I
assignment with
like
the
it. I
kids.
like it. So how did he say he takes it?
So he said he was contradicting himself a lot because on one hand he says,
I am the law.
I am the law.
And then you have
But
this.
then on this other hand,
You have an open book.
exactly, you have what? Democracy.
Yeah.
So everybody can present their opinions and they have to be respected by everyone. But do not forget who the law is.
Wow. That's like having Idi Amin and Jesus all in one house.
What? Anyway, end of the day, I'm not okay with a sense of entitlement that comes with men doing some quote unquote favors for their significant others. So they feel like, I'm doing this and this for you,
bro,
just to keep you quiet for a bit.
Back to that whole story. And sorry to kind of interrupt.
No worries.
Fam, you said you don't feel that men what quote unquote favors.
Men feel a sense of entitlement
Yes.
after they have done these quote unquote favors for their significant others, such that I've treated you nicely.
So what are you saying? Like if I give you an allowance, just I give it to you and boom, halas, that's it.
Let me use this analogy. Basically, this is the relationship we have with our government.
They're just taking.
I'm giving you something just so that you can keep quiet for now. Don't bother me. Don't disturb me. I am the law. I'm calling the shots.
Okay.
So to keep you quiet, like it doesn't seem like a bad. This is the art of manipulation, bro.
But you see,
this is the art of manipulation. I'm not treating you equally because I believe that in a relationship, it's two people meeting at the same level.
Oh hell no, Andy, no.
Not bro. Like all factors considered, all constant factors considered, as human beings.
Yeah.
Leave alone status quo. Leave alone the socioeconomic ladder. Leave alone your background. You as Calvin and her as whoever she is, you meet at the same level. These other external factors are what place you guys, at different places in life. But at the end of the day, you and your significant other, fam, y'all are equal.
Bro, I like
you are one and the same, bro.
In a very fair world, yes.
Equality and equity.
In a very fair world, yes. But the one thing I've come to learn about relationships and even seen them from so many different perspectives and so many people's eyes and even getting stories from people's, there's nothing like fairness. Bro, there's nothing like equality. Bro, you guys could say, okay, cool. Yeah, I've seen his pay slip. She's seen mine, what. All of these different kind of things. But bruh, the power dynamics in relationships, oh my God.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Sour.
Sour. Today you could be the one. You're like, I'm the boss. Yeah.
But Calvin.
Yeah, everything's all right. Then the power shift happens. Fam, relationships are all about a power struggle.
And why do you think that is the case?
What do you mean?
Because you're failing to recognize that this is your equal.
No.
So there has to be a power play. There has to be power struggle in there, bro.
It's never about an equal.
Calvin.
Yeah, we could look at each other as equal, but how boring is it to know that, he's like me. Or we're the same. It's fucking boring. There has to always be a shift, fam.
I love this conversation.
No.
Okay. Let's put the textbook definition and worldview away. Because that's the politically correct answer that anyone would give. You as Calvin, tell me what you believe as Calvin. Don't tell me, there's no such thing as being equal. Yeah, bro, that's what we were taught in school. I want you as Calvin with all the experience that you have.
I'm not going to say...
At your big age.
At my big age. What I'm going to say is this. Fam, this question is out of... answering this question is out of experience.
Okay.
There's some sunny days, there's some rainy days. You won't always be on top. Fam.
Pause, but yes.
You see what I did there, right?
Yeah.
You would always be on top. In all fairness, there's some days you'll be out there like, fuck
but
it.
Wait. What do you mean being on top?
What I mean by being on top is this.
Exactly what you're
Back to the previous statement that I said. Equality in relationships, sour, cool. Try that equality shit whenever you're always saying, okay, cool, let's go Dutch on the bill. She'll be out there at the chama saying, this nigga don't even pay for the bills.
I see where the issue is.
You get
now.
It's not even. It's all of these things.
This is a trust issue, Calvin.
It's not a trust issue.
It is a trust issue.
Women are leaving their mothers in whatever's houses. Huh? You get?
I understand you, bro. I understand you, bro.
Listen, here's the thing, bro. Have you? Let me look at the camera, guys. Austin and Mr. Grouchy. have you ever tried in all equality to go stay at a woman's house and she got pissed off at you? Which is the camera I'm supposed to be looking at?
Pissed off at you
she got
because
pissed off at
why?
you because of something that you may have done. And she starts all of that shit of my house. You may have been contributing to the rent. My what? My what? Tell me about that equality shit again. Men, most of the time.
Are you lot agreeing?
Men, yeah.
Yes,
men,
yes,
most of the
Austin,
time.
Broughty, yeah, you're agreeing? No? Yeah, I'm with Broughty on this.
Men, most of the time, will get to a point where they'll be like, okay, cool, let me step out of the house, leave you, what. Fam, you've seen guys being kicked out. All of this equality shit. You've done all of these things for her. Where's that equality coming from? And
Calvin.
by the way, this also happens to women as well. They get kicked out.
Yes.
So I'm being fair. But most of the times you hear these stories about, in terms of this whole thing to do with equality. Fam.
Okay, using the same example that you're using, let's be honest. If you've gotten your act right, if you treat this woman well,
Yeah.
and say it's not a big mistake you've done, like something you have in your toxic bag, like once in a while,
Or like a porn stash or something.
like she caught a porn stash or something, in the doghouse because of that.
Like nudes of who's hot right now?
I wouldn't know.
Lori Harvey.
Are they out there?
No,
Because I wouldn't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
say she's got some, Lori Harvey nudes,
or just text messages with Lori Harvey. What's up?
Wow. in her own house.
Yeah.
Yes, where you are staying with her. This is the example that you're giving, right? Now, a good woman who's being treated well will not get to a point unless she is evil and she doesn't mean well and she's manipulative and toxic. I don't think a rational woman would bring that up, like, oh, this is my house. As a matter of fact, pack your stuff, leave, blah, blah, blah. Let me remind you whose house you're staying in. Let me remind you whose roof you get me.
Have you lived with a woman before, bro?
Yes, I have.
How was that?
But under my own roof, bro.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
this doesn't mean that I haven't occasionally,
Kicked out.
I haven't
Get out. This
occasionally,
is Andy's house.
been at hers and she's mad at me and it doesn't bring out that result. Because why? We are rational human beings. I'm not treating you badly to a point where...
Have you ever gotten so pissed off you want to tell her get out?
If I get pissed off to that point, I walk away.
Okay.
I don't ask you to.
I'd go to
I'm the
another-
one who's pissed.
I'm a humane kind of guy. That whole story of kicking people out now. Has it happened to me? Maybe in my younger years. If I'm at all...
Of course you've been kicked out, bro.
Bro.
Of course you've been kicked out.
Kicked out?
Yeah. You
Nah.
haven't been kicked out?
Nah. Bro,
Nah?
maybe when I was like 21 or something.
Then that's a yes. Then that's a yes.
All of those are times, bro. Kwa nyumba yangu bana. Unaget? But I might incriminate myself.
Do it, bro. Just do it. G is absent today. We need all the help we can
Fam,
get.
I've been locked out of my own house. Like,
No, that's crazy, bro.
Like how
That's crazy.
you come into your own house and you're in the living room and the bedroom has been shut and you're like, what the fuck, bro? So you have to crash on the couch. I think that has happened to enough guys.
Nope. I cannot relate, bro.
Oh wow.
I cannot
Austin?
relate. You're solo there, bro. Solo dolo.
No, like you're in your own house and you can't even access the bedroom. You're just like
nope.
sawa.
What did you do?
I just crashed on the couch.
No. What did you do to deserve that kind of treatment?
I came late.
Did you now?
So what happened? what had happened was right. So they taken me to the garage in the morning. So I was like, all right, cool, sawa. Need to go back to the house. Quick drop. I'm going to get something done. Went, got that thing done. Ended up hanging out with my boy. Right. It's uko like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Boom, pull up. People are pissed off because I didn't spend time.
I mean, okay, was the plan to spend time?
No, there was no email. There was no calendar invite. Sorry.
Wait.
Huh?
Is that wait?
Oh, sorry. It was not a
No.
missing.
Wait. Is that what we're doing right now?
Fam, you know I dated and told
Invites
someone.
and calendars.
happens.
That's where we are at right now.
Bruh, yes. In a busy life, you can
Nigga, you
actually
toxic,
sit down.
bro. Like, actually admire it, bro. I'm like,
Oh, spell off the podcast, bro. Bro, you
Oh,
can't send a
man.
calendar invite.
yo, this will be the perfect place to advertise your products. So, Maze, yo, just hit us up.
Your episode
Let us
Toxic
plug you,
Podcast.
bro. I mean, look at this dope content.
Yeah.
Look at this dope content. At the same time, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so
That
that anytime we
ring,
drop
ring.
something new, yeah, you know,
Fam,
go on.
Yeah, so that has happened to me where, yeah, a calendar invite.
No, Calvin, you're just toxic. I think to save the rest of your face, we should just move on from this conversation.
No, you will actually get to that point. At times, you could actually literally forget things at times. You know, like what's the fault in actually sharing a calendar? Haven't you guys ever watched that movie? What was it called? Where this guy was stranded. He used to work for UPS with Mel Gibson, where he was stranded on an island for years. Castaway.
I don't know.
Castaway or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were so busy. So he and the wife were so busy. Yes, mark you. I said wife. Well, they used to actually sit down and look at each other's calendars. This actually happens with married people. They show each other calendars.
Bro.
And you guys look at where we can sync each other. You actually even share calendars.
Yeah, but look at them professionally, bro. They work with calendars.
See, me,
I have 2 jobs, bro. You
Yeah.
maybe have 1 job. We don't have a lot going on, bro.
No, but this is me showing you that these are the openings in my week.
I can show you other openings, bro. But anyway, I get it's
Hold up.
it's actually a very romantic thing to you know invite each other for dates
Yeah.
through maybe calendars or Google invites. It's a dope gesture. I get that. I'm actually planning to use that someday.
So here's the thing, right?
Wagon.
So, you know, we get a lot of guys asking us what to talk about and everything, right? So one of the things that, shout out to this guy, he's called Mr. Washington, who said, hey, I'm just from listening, the mics are open, and I think I have an interesting topic for you guys to talk about. It's basically the question, what are men and women's weaknesses? So you as a man, Andy, what are your weaknesses? I think he was probably phrasing that in like a relationship context or something. I'm not too sure. I should have asked, yeah?
Well, I wouldn't want to narrow that down, but my weaknesses as Andy Young or as a man in society.
I'd say it's a very broad one. I think I agree with
then
you.
we can tackle both, I guess, in society and as an individual.
Okay. In society, how would you?
So, as a man in society, there are some conversations we really can't have. Why? Because we don't want to be seen as vulnerable. We don't want to be seen as weak. These are very important conversations to have, but because of how society has portrayed the what's the word? Like the perfect man or the ideal man in society, then that has to be one of the things that I feel like as men, that's really our Achilles heel, because it really doesn't help with our communication. It doesn't help with our relationships. It doesn't help with a lot. Like that's one of the things I feel as a man in society, we are hella weak. And 2,
Yeah.
as men in society, bro, we can't control our urges. We're very impulsive. We're very
Quite primal.
that's the word.
Yeah.
That's the word. We find it so hard to restrain ourselves or to just find order in some things that naturally we should, but we don't even care.
What do you think about men and ego? Is that a weakness for men at times?
Very big one.
Very big one.
Very big one.
You know
Yeah.
what's interesting? Just now thinking about how I'm going to answer that question, and it got me thinking. When you guys were here yesterday recording the basketball podcast, right?
Yeah.
I told you guys I was watching the new documentary about Tiger Woods.
Oh yeah.
So I think people have seen the Tiger Woods story over and over. You know, when he was caught with, was it 15 different women here, there? He's a married man, 2 young kids. He's out here living like, boom, separate double lives, right? So they talk about how he was that man on the golf course, right? That man who used to hit Vegas, have a bomb time. That man who was going to a club down the road from like the estate he lived in and hooking up with the bar attender, you know, thinking about all of that. And then on top of that, he's that guy who's making close to like what? 50 plus million in terms of endorsements, right? And on top of that, he's an overachiever, having won how many titles? So many, literally the greatest, right? And it was just interesting looking at this guy. So for those of you guys who are not, well, guys, most people don't really watch golf, but for the guys who do, this guy started playing golf at literally at about a year old. Like the dad, so there's so many different bits of that documentary where the dad is saying, okay, so I'm so happy about what this guy is going to be and what, and now bringing it forth when he's in his 40s and everything. And they were talking about this was a man who was constructed. This man,
built.
He was built. He was told, you have to be like this. You have to do things like this. You need to win. You need to win. You need to do what? There was never like no thoughts like, hey, this is Andy. Today I'm going to go take a walk. I'm going to, So this is a guy from literally when you're 16 years old or something, you're already playing what. That story was so interesting for me in the sense that it got to a point where this man had achieved everything, right?
Yeah.
And had to get to that breaking point of where he needed to be now, say, I am going to be the person that I want to be. It was so strange in so many ways, but, to get back to your question about men and weaknesses, I feel like it wouldn't be prudent for us guys to categorize and say these are the weaknesses that men have. I feel like everybody, we've said this, everybody has their own kind of journey, and you will come across with so many different weaknesses, right?
True.
Yeah. It was interesting. We're having this conversation with G last week on Saturday and talking about like different weaknesses and, pointing out this and me having a very candid conversation, right? And it's like, for me, I'd say, if, to speak about myself, I'd say I have my weaknesses. There's times I've been, a hard head or said, okay, this is the way I perceive things and I'll stick to it, or I'll argue with people and be like, those different kind of things. But at the end of the day, should we always just let our weaknesses define us?
I don't think that's how I'd look at it. It's how we move from our weaknesses.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's what defines you. It's not your weaknesses. I feel like the weaknesses we have are what are the things that are supposed to build us up as human beings, as individuals, because the struggles you have are not the same struggles I have. So for me to overcome the fears I have, to overcome all these struggles, the hassles, the bustles and everything, that's what defines me now, because you'll know Andy to be that guy. Andy went through this and this, Maze, he rose from this. Now that's the story. That's the legacy right there. It's not the weaknesses.
But, with all that said and everything, now to kind of move on from that, a very interesting question from that documentary. They were talking about how, as you, like, say, for instance, you, young man, doing it on the radio, entertainment scene and everything, do you always feel like people are waiting for you to fuck up?
Of course, there's people who are, bro, that cuts across the board, even in agency.
Is it like,
I'm sure in your place of work, at least one person who's just waiting for you to
is
sleep
it like
up.
such a human flaw where they see someone soaring and they're just like, we can't wait to have him fucking calm down?
Yes. But that's a good thing, because it shows you're on the right track, you're doing something right at least. If you don't have any haters, bro, it's cliche. If you don't have any haters, then you're not doing the right thing.
No. But you see, it gets to a point where, it's like those conversations you have with your friends, right? Say like this week, you saw this whole story to do with Omosh, the comedian.
Yeah.
Right? Man crying that, he's not got money to feed his kids.
Yeah, we had this conversation on the
and then guys are like, but when he had what, he wasn't
saving and all. Yeah,
no, he's fucked up. So what? Fuck him. What?
Yo, bruv, we all make our own choices. We all make our own decisions.
But why is it the guys are like that?
Because, bro, it's nothing new. It's human nature.
Is it like, dude, it's like me sitting here and saying, Andy is my boy, or G even, and I'm just like, man, I can't wait for these niggas to just fuck up.
It's human nature, bro.
Have you ever gotten to that point where you think of someone and you're just like, man, this nigga winning too much?
No. Okay, maybe in sports, yes. But as a human being to another human being, hell nah. And
But
no, bro.
You're saying it's something that's innate.
No, it's human nature.
It's human nature.
Yeah,
if
it's human nature.
it's in it. It's within us. We always do it.
But it's something, it's a choice you have to make, bro. Again, it's all about your school of thoughts. As I was telling you in the minisode or on the Monday minisode, I see life as everybody having their own window. Make the best out of your window. Because once that window passes, there's no guarantee that you're going to get another window to shine.
Yeah.
So when things are working out for you, bruv, I will celebrate you. Trust me. Why? I know my time is coming. So I am happy to see another brother prosper and flourish. Another sister doing well. Me, I love saying that. I know it's your time.
Yeah.
You know, so I won't sit back and go like, damn, why is this guy like as a DJ? There's so many DJs worse. Bruv, trust me, it's in our industry. Like there's someone who's waiting for Andy to sleep up, maze.
Sure.
Like that guy is on radio,
Cut him to
maze.
size.
Why is he getting this gig? Why is even someone at my level?
Yeah.
I can look up to guys like Kina Who, Kina G, Kina John and them lot, Kina Styles, and go like, kwani these guys are going to be there forever, maze. One of them just boom.
Yeah.
You get,
You know.
there's that kind of mentality out there, bro. But it's how you look at life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things. Whenever we like get questions from guys on social media, and someone was asking me, so how is it that you go across having a conversation with an employer when you want more money? Right? Because I don't know. You know, we've been taught how to be, just stay humble, be content that you have this job and everything, and don't be like, hey, by the way, I feel like I've been doing this and that, and I feel like I should get paid this much and everything. And you stay on the same kind of amount of money for a certain duration. How, from your own experience?
Yo, bro, it's always a tricky conversation to have. First of all, by the time you're getting to go to your boss to have that conversation with them about, you know.
But why is it made to be like one of those things that people shouldn't do? Is it like a culture? Because I feel like there's a cultural change that's happening. When I had this conversation with my mom is from the school of thought where, you know, they come from that whole thing of like job grades and what this is what you're supposed to be paid and everything, or you should be a bit content. But with the guys that we have, you know, the millennials and everything, you want, okay, I feel I should get this is how I want my contract to be and everything, right? But you have people who are like, stay humble, don't go ask for that.
Oh, nah, see, that's the thing. There's a difference between humility and downplaying your value. There's a huge difference, bro. And that's why it's a conversation we've had so many times. Like, I'm sure it's a conversation you all had before I joined you guys on the breakfast show.
Yeah.
When I joined you guys on the breakfast show, it's a conversation that was new to me, but I was like, this is a conversation that actually needs to be had. Because when you are being challenged negatively by, say, an employer who is taking advantage of your value, not paying you your worth, but reaping everything that they can from you, then fam, at that precise moment, you have to make up your mind. You know,
yeah.
Yes, and you also have to be smart about your timing, because there's a time where you can be like, okay, maybe I just got here. Yes, I get not really on the best terms, but I know with time we can get to a place where I can bring up this conversation because I know what I'm about to offer. There's a time for that. But you've been there 5 years. Every year your value just keeps going up, and you're making the boss man or the boss woman just fatter, you know, buying better cars,
checks,
living a better lifestyle.
Yeah.
You're still there on the same salary. Now there, no. And you know the kind of output that you're giving them, the quality of your work, fam, no. You have to stand your ground at that point.
You know, for me, that kind of conversation reminds me of how, have you gone to a meeting where people are asking, hey, boss, you haven't asked no question. You haven't said anything at this meeting. You know, you're just there existing, right?
Oh, yeah.
You get, so that kind of energy reminds me of that. I feel like you phrased it very well. You kind of have to be intelligent enough to know what point you're at,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But have you been there for like a year plus, right? You know, you've gone through the whole probation period. You've hit your targets, all of these different things.
That's the other thing. Are you hitting your targets?
You know,
Yeah.
you're working hard. But my thing is this: I like to tell people, work smart, Work hard, everybody can do that. Work smart, you know what I mean? You've got to figure out how to go around that. But these are conversations people should actually not be afraid to have. Because imagine if you're not doing it, there's someone in that office who's doing it.
But let me ask you something. Why do you feel like people are intimidated by HR? Are people intimidated by HR?
So,
because I feel like there's a very faulty relationship between staff and HR.
But you see, HR are some of the, how would I put it? The perfect mindfuck.
Okay.
Yeah. How I'd put it is this. HR shows you that, hey, I'm your friend. I've got all of these ideas to make you feel like, oh, company caters for you and everything. But don't ever get it twisted. And I've got a lot of people in HR who are my friends. They might get offended, but this is the actual truth. HR is actually supposed to take care of the company. You're a company, you're your company's resource.
You're an
Hence,
asset. Yeah,
human resource. They're supposed to manage you to do what you have to do. That is why you will sit with your manager and the head of HR, and they'll be like, so did you hit your targets? Because all of that is looked at from like a team's perspective, and there's a whole target that the team has. So if HR is not working for the company, there has to be someone who's playing devil's advocate, and this is what HR does. And
so HR is not for the people.
HR,
it's a lie. It's a lie.
As much as they have the term people for you in it, fam, it doesn't take two brains to know. You know what I mean?
Wait.
But of course, that is my observation. But I've also been places where HR has been good, right? They've, fought for people, what, understood. I think HR should have kind of evolved by now. You get? There's HR people who, say for instance, ask guys work in a talent field. You wouldn't expect an HR person to come treat us like how they were treating people in government. Those are two different sectors. You get, how am I going to treat these people like, oh, so do you need to be here by this, by what? These are guys in the creative industry and what have you. You need to wear a shirt, all of these different kind of things.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. But at the end of the day...
No, ask those questions, fam. Ask those questions. I see you. Don't shy away.
Bro,
let's have this conversation.
This HR conversation is very sensitive.
Yeah.
As you can imagine, because we are all employed. So we have to kind of tread carefully.
Yeah.
And watch what we say, but at the same time not shy away from calling the truths that we see from where we are at.
Yeah. I like that.
Yes. Now, I'm glad we're having this conversation because being the youngest person
on the pod.
Or on the podcast, or in this room, I feel like you all have had more experience and encounters with HR personnels. Now, I might be new to the whole experience, and by new isn't at just the other day. It can be 2 years ago, can be 5 years ago. It's very relative. I'd say that in the beginning, I was kind of excited about having HR, as part of the organization, because in uni I did organizational
behavior.
And industrial psychology. That's psychology in the workplace.
Okay.
And now being in an actual workplace where there's an HR personnel and you get to see these things coming to life, you remember your lecturer telling you office politics is a thing. You have to be very smart how you're moving in the office. The power struggles, the gender struggles, all these things. They're super real. What I'd want to say is, if you're out there seeking employment, as Calvin has said, HR being for the people might be, well, it doesn't apply everywhere and not always, because you can't discredit companies who have really successful
talent.
Exactly.
Do you know in some companies it's actually called talent management?
It's talent management. Yes. But at the same time, don't be surprised to get into a work environment where you get into the impression that HR is for you. They're there to protect you, to make sure that they are managing you as the human resource for the company, to make sure that you are Gucci and you can provide whatever is, or rather you can give whatever is needed by the company. It's not always like that, bro.
I think one of the things, especially for the guys who are transitioning from uni, that unit, for me, I guess it's just a different name. For us guys, it was called organizational behavior. So you get to learn about structures and how everything goes about and all of that. But the most interesting bit is, like the first time you get a job, right? And they tell you, okay, here's the contract. This is what we expect of you. I think even for me, it happened. The first contract I ever got, bro, I didn't question shit. I was just like, okay, you just look at the money. Okay, cool. First and foremost, you're like, all right, cool, I'm excited. Sign
Yeah,
it.
we need to
everything.
talk about contracts.
Yeah? Fam, let me tell you, I was actually getting to it. I think one of the things G over the years, having worked together and everything, is he told me, you got to challenge the contract, right? Because a contract, especially for a company that's willing to engage you, like especially for us guys now in talent, and this also kind of cuts across for people, fam, challenge that. Go clause by clause and say, okay, I think I can do this, I think I can do this, right? Because at some point you may get to a point where you're sitting and you guys are going through a review and everything, and you're just like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? And they're like, bro, it was right there in your contract.
True.
So you can, like, it's like, we've had this conversation before. Say, by the way, me I can do this, me I can't do this.
Yeah.
And have it. Because if you actually challenge it, yeah, HR will be like, okay, I can see, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, be intelligent about it.
Now, Calvin, I feel like before we move on from this HR conversation, I feel like there's some dimes you can drop for guys who are yet to step into interview rooms and the HR personnel is there or the HR team is there, and they might not really be aware of their sole purpose in that interview room, because it's not just black and white. It's not just what you can do for the company. It's not just what the company can do for you. You know, those normal, pleasantries that people usually exchange in an interview, because there's more that's going on in an interview room. Now, what will you tell someone who hasn't yet had that encounter, or who's had that encounter but didn't know that, damn, maybe HR was there for this and this reason, maybe I should conduct myself like this and like that?
I think that would be a whole episode, to be honest.
That would be a whole.
Yeah,
Do we need to prep for that?
No. But I've got a couple of tips. I think I've learned this over the years, and also I was having a conversation with some guys from Brighter Monday some months ago. So here's the thing. I think one of the things that people need to understand is before you even go into that interview room, most of the time what sells you is your CV. So your CV is, sit with people. There's actually companies, by the way, that you can send your CV. They go through it and they tell you change this and that. Always have
really?
someone. Yeah. There's actually
I
companies
didn't know
that
that, bro.
specialize in actually just making sure that your CV is proper. If you're a professional, it's always good to have a LinkedIn. Even for us guys, bro. Guys are getting headhunted from LinkedIn every single day.
Oh yeah, and speaking of which, we have a mutual friend called Yasmin.
Yes.
They have an app called Organ. Organ is like Tinder for jobs.
Yes.
And like it's just basically connecting employers and guys who are looking for jobs. So I think I see that middleman role of maybe what the clients want, what the employers want, and what the employees are giving, and maybe what these guys can do to make sure that they are the best suitors for the employer. So that's a very important role.
Something else that I actually learned and I was actually quite baffled by was when I was having this conversation, they actually said most of the times, especially when this role or something that you're going for, say for instance, you've got good experience, say at your age, right? And in your head, you've kind of said, I feel like this position is for someone at this age.
Yeah.
And over the last decade, you've seen like now the CEO of like Centum, that guy, young guy. You've seen some guys, so many guys in different industries. Fam, imagine you don't have to put your age in the CV.
Wait, what do you mean?
You actually don't. Because it's one of those human things. You will look at a CV and be like, okay, this guy's educated. This guy has achieved a couple of things, but he's 26.
No, I beg to differ, bro.
Fam, imagine.
I beg to differ.
These were actually professionals who were telling me. At times,
really?
Go into the room, let them be shocked that you actually got into that interview, whatever. What do you call it? Into that hall,
bro.
Room.
No, you know what?
Here's the thing, fam. There's job applications that say we want someone aged above this. There's job applications that don't specify an age.
And that's okay. But as an employer, I would want to worry about age. Fam, bro, even as a human being.
If they've not specified, don't.
That's interesting.
Imagine, I found that and I was just like, wow, all of these years later.
Because, bro, I want to know, for example.
You see what you're doing right there? You as an employer, you want to know the age. Sindio?
Because it tells a lot, bro.
Yeah,
it tells a lot.
That's the fact
so
that I'm
why
saying.
not?
Yeah, so it was very interesting for me when they said that to me. They were like, at times, imagine you actually don't have to.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Another thing is this. I think a lot of people, as you get older, you get to realize this, bruh. These two professional courses, please just kind of do them. Like
So they
right now,
come in
there's one
handy.
I'll push for you. It's called data journalism.
Okay.
That is actually a very interesting journalism. I'll also send it to Austin as well.
Okay.
Here's the thing. So a lot of people who practice journalism, myself, you, G, and of course Austin, we're getting to a point where data is driving so many different conversations. Say, for instance, you want to justify like how your radio show, what, nini,
Yes.
or how many people listen to this podcast. All of that is data. So we're getting to a point where it's just not going to be broadcast journalists. There's also going to be data journalists. So it's an interesting one. All of these professional courses, fam, you can get there and someone says, I went to USIU. I did journalism. I've worked here. I've worked there. You come in and you say, cool, I added this professional course and what? It sets you aside.
Because
Imagine
it's what they're looking for. It's not where you're coming from.
yeah, it's just those two small things that can add a skill here, there, nini. Now, and another place I think a lot of people fuck up at is hobbies.
Wait. What do you mean?
Bruh, some hobbies are so unnecessary.
Like what?
You'll have people who will write things like, all I do is social media. When you say social media is a hobby, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? It's so broad.
I'm out there hunting them on social media.
You get it's such a broad term.
Damn.
So,
okay.
It's actually very interesting because we have a lot of people who are always asking us for this kind of guidelines, right? And you just get to find out so many different
interesting.
things. Yeah. So always, like I'm saying once again, just before we wrap up on that whole story, imagine take time and ask someone who's who's a professional at that to go through it. There's a couple of websites that actually do that. Another thing, referees, please inform them.
Or okay, yeah, I think that's important.
Because people add just a whole bunch of people and they don't even inform them. Like I could just add Andy as a referee and then they're calling Andy and they're like, hello. So we're trying to, what? Who? No, never what?
And then I'm there busy throwing you under the bus.
They ain't got the scoop.
Yeah.
So boom, you don't even get that call. And at times also, if a company doesn't reply to you, if you've sent a CV and they've called you for an interview, imagine you're entitled to write into them and asking what's up.
Oh yeah, follow-up email.
Yeah. You're entitled after a certain duration. Say, for instance, they tell you, hey, the companies will be specific. They'll say, you'll hear from us in this duration. You'll hear from us, right? So it could be a yes or a no. If they go above that duration, you can actually write to them and say, what's up? You said this because you're following instructions.
I think it's courteous enough for the employer to communicate that and tell you within this period we shall get back to you.
There's some people out here who are very malenge, bro. Imagine.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. Maybe something else before we wrap it up completely because I think we've been going on for a while. I learned it's important to just do random research on the employer or the company.
Yeah.
Because there is that segment at the end of the interview. If you get to that point where the employer or the interviewer asks you, like, do you have any questions for us?
Oh, yeah.
I reckon you can set yourself apart if maybe don't show them you're that guy who goes looking for that, nini, because you can be too cocky in there.
So you guys had a scandal.
Exactly, like, we're going for that. No. Just subtle things, like maybe something you'd like to understand properly, maybe how the company does this or that you've never really understood and you've been questioning that. And maybe you're putting it in a way like maybe this is what didn't or this isn't what was cutting it for you with this company. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
Yeah.
For example, you can want to work for, say, Google, but maybe they have that Kawan policy in their contract and you're like, hey, Mazi, I have to give up everything just for this. Is it worth it? Questions like that. You're not attacking them per se, but maybe you're just bringing it up like, hey, we're going with your policies
so
on this and that.
That you know.
Exactly, so that they can know you know. So maybe that's just something extra that you can add.
And since we're talking about like, I don't know how we ended up at this career point, but something like me to you, Andy, you see like these two small things that we do. Like say for instance, last week Friday, there was a whole article about Kenyan podcasts and everything. You see those kind of articles, you should be adding them to your LinkedIn.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yo, how seriously should someone like me be taking LinkedIn, bro?
Say for you,
it's just an app on the phone sometimes.
It's an app on the phone, but think about it. You see, like how Snapchat, you be out there pushing this and that and that.
Yes.
This is now like social media for professionals. People will be like, "What's your LinkedIn?" You'll sit in meetings. Guys won't ask you, "Cool, what's your Twitter?" Because on Twitter you could be spazzing about whatever the fuck. So you see these two accolades. Make them, add them, because I know a shit ton of people who literally all they do is they're headhunters. They just go look at this, that. And I'm saying all of this. Actually, one of my targets was to actually work on my LinkedIn this week because I was just like, fam, I've been slacking on that front.
So employers are really looking at LinkedIn.
They be looking at it because what are the professional? There's actually others that are out there in Europe. But if you're like, for you, the things that I see you doing and everything, so you should be out there saying, okay, I'm a podcaster. I've got this podcast that I'm doing. I'm a content creator. I've got this, what I'm doing. So if like, say, for instance, a company that's all about content and they were coming onto the continent, they look at that, they're like, boom,
okay,
that's our man. So
okay.
They'll now what they'll probably do is just get someone to do due diligence. But they've already seen this guy's doing
they've
this.
identified you already.
Yeah.
So you set yourself apart in short. Okay.
From head start, hapo. By the time unaingia hiyo room, uko yeah.
I don't think we can add anything else on top of that, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think so. We've been on and on and on about how did you get there, bro?
Man,
I don't know how we got there.
It's a diverse podcast. I think that's one of the things about the mics are open. Us guys literally just, we prep and everything, but we can literally talk about everything.
We wrap it up.
Yeah, man.
Man's hungry kidogo, man.
Man's hungry. Andy has to kula his chipos.
Yeah.
By chipos, actual fries. Yeah, man. So this has been episode 95 of The Mics Are Open. Remember to listen on the audio as well. We're available on SoundCloud, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Castbox, everywhere, literally. Take us with you. We know you guys are in the office, working, pretending. Listen, and of course on video as well, they can watch us.
Yeah, check out G-Money's YouTube channel. There's lots of dope content, not just the podcast. Shout out to Neville, shout out to Kelly and Ashley. We're doing a lot. I don't know if
it was on the TV in the back.
Yeah, so just go check out G-Money's YouTube. Speaking of which, word out once again to G-Money Maze. All the best, big homie. We need you back ASAP. Yeah.
Bless, we're out.
Maze, we out.